Let me take you back to 1960. In 1960, only 7.7% of Americans were choosing to go to college. But the gap between what upper and middle class workers were earning was the smallest it had ever been in American history. For the first time ever, a steel worker or a teacher might have enjoyed a very similar lifestyle to, let's say, a lawyer or a doctor, and that made a lot of families happy. Now, don't get me wrong, ask a woman or a person of color who lived it, and they could tell you that the 60s were very far from perfect. But economically, social historians have judged this period as having the highest mass standard of living of all time. So how did this happen? Well, it started in the early 1940s with a phenomenon called the Great Compression, which refers to a time when economic inequality was at an all-time low. Franklin D. Roosevelt helped kick it off with the public works projects and the financial reforms of the New Deal. Federal income tax had never been more progressive, with the richest of Americans paying a full 94% of what they made. Unions, at the height of their power, won victories like guaranteed pay that rose with productivity along with unprecedented health and retirement benefits for their workers. And just a few years earlier, Congress had established the Fair Labor Standards Act that introduced a national minimum wage. By the early 1970s, conservative forces began to shake the foundations of the Great Compression, lowering taxes on the ultra-rich, undermining the power of unions, and ushering in a new era of outrageously outsized executive pay. An unprecedented social safety net that took 3 decades to build began to unravel. And the Great Compression came to an end. But what's important to remember here is how the Great Compression came about in the first place. It was a choice. An economy that's fair to everyone doesn't just happen by accident. It has to be created through policy. And for the sake of all Americans, we need to create it again.